Now on Denver 7 News, an Amber Alert lifted after reports of a mother and her 2 young children being kidnapped.
Plus, as communities try to heal from recent tragedies, Colorado families are stepping in to help.
Unfortunately, those of us who know the system and have been affected are the ones that have to fight for the newest members of the club that nobody wants to join.
The avian flu continues to spread across Colorado. How the governor is stepping in.
I still mask up on planes, so I wish we would see a little more of it.
And health officials warn of a COVID surge as people are diving into their Memorial Day weekend. We check in on how this affects the Big Boulder event.
Thank you for joining us on Denver 7 News at 10. I'm Jacqueline Allen.
And I'm Byron Wang. A missing Denver mother and her 2 kids have been found safe after police issued an Amber Alert. It has since been deactivated.
Everything came to a close tonight here near the Hilton Hotel on 18th and California in downtown Denver. The 24-year-old mother and her 2 babies, a 1-year-old girl and a 2-month-old boy, were reported missing this morning. Witnesses told police the mom and babies were taken by force during a domestic violence incident. The police were calling the children's 28-year-old father a suspect in their disappearance. Right now, it's unclear if that father was taken into custody.
Meantime, the search continues tonight for a missing woman in Wheat Ridge. 73-year-old Gloria Gonzalez was last seen Wednesday when her husband dropped her off at Anderson Park to take a short walk. He told police he got worried after she didn't return home at her usual time. She was last seen wearing a black backpack and a red jacket. Gonzalez does have dementia, so if you see her and have any information at all, please call 911.
Governor Polis is declaring a state of disaster emergency due to the avian flu cases here in Colorado. The governor's office says there are cases of avian flu across 14 counties, including an outbreak at a commercial broiler breeder facility in Montrose County. That's affecting about 58,000 birds. And a commercial table egg layer facility in Weld County, affecting 1.4 million birds and more than 7 million eggs. Avian flu has a mortality rate above 90%. The bird flu can transmit from bird to human, but it is uncommon.
Vice President Kamala Harris and President Joe Biden on opposite sides of the country this weekend, consoling communities stricken by grief after 2 horrific mass shootings. Vice President Kamala Harris traveling to Buffalo, New York Saturday, attending the funeral and meeting the family of Ruth Whitfield, one of the 10 people killed in a mass shooting motivated by racism at a supermarket 2 weeks ago. Meanwhile, President Joe Biden delivering the commencement address at the University of Delaware before heading to Uvalde, Texas on Sunday.
Enough is enough. We will come together based on what we all know we have in common, and we will not let those people who are motivated by hate separate us or make us feel fear.
We cannot outlaw tragedy, I know, but we can make America safer. We can finally do what we have to do to protect the lives of the people and of our children.
Meantime, parents in Uvalde are still demanding answers and accountability after learning Friday that more than an hour passed between the first 911 call and when a Border Patrol tactical team finally stormed into the classroom and killed the shooter.
And often after these mass shootings, the victims' families and survivors find themselves feeling overwhelmed.
But a Texas couple with ties to a Colorado tragedy is hoping to change that. Here's Denver 7's Patrick Perez with their story.
This July 20th will mark 10 years since the Aurora Theater shooting that killed 12 people and injured dozens of others. One of the victims, Jessie, she was just 24 years old.
If the young man who was with her in the theater had not called us to tell us what had happened, we would have been hours and hours and hours trying to figure out what had happened, what we needed to do, where we needed to go.
Sandy and Lonnie Phillips have made it their mission since then to honor their daughter and making sure no other family goes through something like this alone.
We want to honor the experiences that we've had that we can now turn around and give to other people to help them on this journey that nobody wants to take.
Just recently, they were in Buffalo, New York, visiting a community affected by yet another mass shooting in our country. Then, as they were sharing their journey with others there, they found out another mass shooting had occurred, this time in Uvalde, Texas, not too far from their hometown of San Antonio. They got on the plane as quickly as they could.
We're heading back there now, so we can try to help the people and the survivors in the community that's been so dramatically traumatically affected.
Lonnie says the scene in Uvalde is just like the other 19 they've been to, somber and heartbreaking.
We found that the crowd just mulling around, some of them weeping.
But as devastating as it is, the couple says it's also infuriating that it's happened again and again and again. They praise changes in state laws, but are calling on the federal government to do more.
It continues to happen because our politicians will not grow a backbone and do what's right for this country and the people of this country.
Until that change happens, they'll be at the next scene, helping guide others one tragedy at a time. Patrick Perez, Denver 7.
Sandy and Lonnie have a nonprofit called Survivors Empowered. They also wrote a book about the Aurora Theater shooting. And if you'd like to support their efforts, we have a link to their website on thedenverchannel.com.
As we kick off the holiday weekend, COVID-19 cases are on the rise across the country and here in Colorado. Health officials worry that mass travel this weekend could cause another spike. In Colorado, the CDC has put both Boulder County and Jackson County back in the high-risk category. Denver 7's Rob Harris reports.
With Boulder now seeing high rates of transmission of COVID-19, the CDC is once again recommending masking up indoors and on public transportation, as well as reminding folks to be vaccinated and to get tested if they have COVID-19 symptoms.
But this update from the CDC is coming out just in time for the holiday weekend. So we went out to Pearl Street in Boulder to see if it's changing people's attitudes or behaviors at all. It was packed with people shopping and eating, registering for this weekend's Boulder race, and enjoying the Boulder Creek Festival.
Oh my gosh, we forgot it was a creek fest. We were like, why is it so busy?
It's crazy down here. Yeah, it's wonderful seeing so many people. I love it.
A few chose to mask up, even for their outdoor holiday weekend activities, but most did not.
I feel like we've been kind of cooped up for a really long time. I mean, there's obviously you still need to be safe, be vaccinated, wear your mask indoors, but being outdoors and out in the open air is really lovely.
CDC data shows the current case rate in Boulder County of 319 cases per 100,000 people. Even with cases trending in the wrong direction across the country, it's important to keep in mind that we're still far below levels we were seeing this winter during the Omicron surge.
Hopefully we've learned enough from scientists to keep safe and do what we need to do, but in the open air we should be okay.
Right now, most of the counties in the Denver metro area are in the medium transmission category. So that means the CDC recommends masking up if you come in contact with someone who has tested positive for COVID-19. But health experts will be watching after the Memorial Day weekend to see if travel impacts those case numbers. For Denver 7, I'm Rob Harris.
All right, Rob, thank you. It's Memorial Day weekend, and there's a lot of people on vacation right now. Must be nice. But it's also important to remember why we have the long weekend.
The city of Aurora held a special event to honor military members today. Hundreds attended Colorado Remembers this morning to honor those who've died while fighting for our freedom. The theme this year, to honor, educate, and remember. People enjoyed a pancake breakfast, special ceremony, and they were able to tour the memorial and visit a military vehicle display. Event organizers say they are encouraged. Everyone is taking a couple of hours this weekend to pay respects, and they are encouraging everyone to teach your children about the significance of this holiday.
It's a great start to the summer, of course, a big 3-day weekend when people want to camp and barbecue and have fun, and they should. That's all the purpose of our freedom, that we're allowed to do those things. But it would be a shame to go these 3 days without remembering why we have the weekend.
And this event was held at the Colorado Freedom Memorial that honors Coloradans who left to fight for freedom and never returned home. All right, shifting gears, Bai and I both cannot hula hoop, so we are very impressed by this Union Station hula hooping record holder and even more impressed by what she's raising money for.